What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Ethena token. This was suggested by one of my subscribers, so thank you very much for that. I'm also going to be taking a look at the market as a whole and where I expect these crypto prices to be in the coming weeks to months. Also, guys, this is a brand new YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate all the support that I've been getting. But without further ado, let's take a look at this token. So as you can see here, Ethena is trading at just over 36 cents with a market cap of 2.62 billion. Very impressive to say the very least. The 24-hour trading volume is also very high on this token, sitting at 220 million for the last 24 hours. And guys, you have to remember it is a Sunday today, so there's really not that much trading taking place throughout the market as a whole. So when you see that a token like this has over 200 million even on a Sunday, that is a fantastic sign. Now, the one thing that I do not love about this token is the fact that we only have about 45% of the supply in circulation. As you can see, the fully diluted market cap is actually 5.5 billion. When you scroll down to the tokenomics, you can see that there is basically a steady uptrend on when the tokens will be released, which basically means that you are dealing with quite a bit of inflation with this token. And when you take a look at the all-time high for the price, it was actually back in April of 2024, right when this token launched at $1.37. And since then, the token's price has actually had a steady downtrend. However, when you take a look at the market cap, we're dealing with a much different scenario. Over here, when we actually had the all-time high for the price, it was actually on the lower side for the total market cap. So it is good to see that the market cap chart is trending upwards. However, at the moment, the inflation is definitely killing the gains on this token, at least if you invested in it when it was first launched. So I would say that that is an issue. However, if you are planning to just hold this token for the next couple of months, when we hopefully see, a crypto bull run return, then it won't be that big of a deal for you guys. But in terms of long term for this token, I would definitely be a bit concerned about that. But there is a bunch of positives with this token as well. As you can see here, there is 80,000 holders, which is fantastic for this coin. Also, guys, just a brief overview of what they do. Ethena is a crypto protocol that issues a synthetic dollar called USDE, which is backed by crypto assets. These assets include Ethereum, staked Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So basically, guys, in order for this project to do well, you need Bitcoin and Ethereum to do well. I do expect that Bitcoin and ETH are going to have a fantastic Q4 of this year and likely Q1 of next year. So if that is the case, then you should definitely see gains with Ethena, and Ethena will most likely be one of the early movers in the alt space because of the fact that it is heavily correlated with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if I were to give a price prediction for this coin for the next couple of months, I'd say best case scenario, I think it could hit around a $10 billion market cap, which would be about a 4x on your money from here. So that is actually a very solid return, and I do consider this token in the short term to be lower risk than most other altcoins. So that's a positive as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall crypto market as a whole. So we are currently sitting at a 36 out of 100 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. As you guys know, whenever we are below neutral on this chart, I think it is a fantastic place to be accumulating these altcoins. And that's what I'm doing personally. So my plan, at least, for as long as we're in fear on this chart or extreme fear, I'm buying a set amount every single week on red days. So not financial advice, but I do think that if you're buying into fear, you're going to win more often than not, especially if you actually take profits when we do get to greed and extreme greed. Taking profits is the most difficult part of crypto, but if you're watching my channel, I will let you guys know when I believe is a good place to be taking profits. All right, let's take a look at this tweet from Ash Crypto. Breaking news, U.S. senators aim to pass a Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill by the end of November. Guys, if this actually happens, this is a fantastic catalyst to be keeping our eyes on. We've been waiting for something like this for the past couple of years, and it's great to see that we are actually getting close to finally having a structure bill that will likely be very pro-crypto, thanks to the Trump administration being very pro-crypto. So yeah, this is incredibly bullish, and I will be keeping you guys updated if there's any news on this whatsoever. Let's take a look at the FedWatch CME Group tool, which is what predicts upcoming FOMC meeting decisions. As you can see here, we do have a 70% chance of having yet another 25 basis point rate cut in December. I definitely think that we will be getting another 25 basis point rate cut. However, I think the market is just a bit scared right now because of the fact that Jerome Powell was very hawkish in his last meeting. I'm not too worried about it personally because Jerome has always been hawkish, basically in every single FOMC meeting that I've ever seen from him, including the FOMC meetings before we got the rate cuts this year. I remember back in September, I believe, when we got our first rate cut, he said that it was undetermined whether or not we'd be getting a rate cut in October. And of course, we did get that rate cut in October. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this, but I do hope that this starts to trend up towards the 90% probability when we get closer to this meeting. All right, guys, then the last thing I wanted to do was just take a look at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So as you can see here, Bitcoin is trading at 109,500, and we've just had some massive wicks up and down for the past couple of days. In my opinion, this is because market makers and whales are still trying to target as much leverage positions as possible. So guys, in my opinion, you should be very careful with using leverage in this market right now. There is a very good chance that if you do use high leverage, you will most likely get liquidated. So if you do plan to use leverage, make sure it's money that you are willing to lose. And it's basically the same with Ethereum here, and Ethereum basically does follow Bitcoin. So I hope that if Bitcoin breaks out of this $110,000 range, we'll see the same with Ethereum. And if that is the case, hopefully we can retest our all-time high yet again at 4,850. And maybe the fourth time will be the charm. And hopefully we will finally break above that. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, and I will be making a video tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Peace.